In this series, we're focusing on innovation in smart agriculture with our four experts: Alison Kopf, Vonnie Estes, Wilson Cardoso, and Komal Ahmed. Now, last week we chose to focus on how to create more efficient supply chains to reduce food waste in the industry. Since then, it sounds like lots of ideas have been discussed and researched. One great suggestion in our group chat this week was to create a platform to improve transparency in the supply chain and reduce food waste in a single gesture.
There is a lot of information around inventory, but there isn't a centralized place to look at that information, and there isn't a method of getting that information into a centralized place. And having that real-time dashboard would help you actually reduce that waste throughout those stages.
We have decided to focus on what a dashboard would look like to visually represent the key data points needed as part of this overall solution.
So if we had a way where you knew when you should harvest, and you also had what was going on at the retailer or food service, like what they needed, that whole chain digitized where everyone knew where the crop was as it moved all the way through, that would definitely cut down on the amount of waste that we see.
If we can actually do the digitalization of smart agriculture, the impact it will have not only on people's lives, it also has a very positive impact on the planet from a sustainability point of view as well. I'm here in San Francisco to talk with Vonnie Estes, expert in smart agriculture, to understand how technology can connect producers and growers in the supply and distribution chain.
The thing about smart agriculture that's important to me is to be able to use technology to solve some of the biggest challenges in producing food for a healthy planet. I've been working in technology and agriculture since 1984 and have worked on a number of technologies and gotten them onto the farm and producing better food. It's very much aligns with just that mindset of going in and saying, what are the issues? How can we be more efficient? How can we have a higher yield? How can we utilize all these resources better?
We actually take our plants and we grow them in these towers. Really, we see controlled environment agriculture, which is the sort of fancy name for what we're doing here, meaning growing indoors, as the next innovation, and also gives our retailer partners and consumers a way to have a sure supply into the future, regardless of what's happening outside.
Because I'm so active in this area, I know a lot of the entrepreneurs that are trying to solve some of these problems. Talking to them and thinking about, how are you solving the problem of really getting information across the chain so that there's not wastage.
Our company's designs have ability to impact the nutrition for millions to billions of people in the world.
Well, Treasury does a lot of things of taking food or waste products that normally wouldn't be used and turning it into something really useful. And so in the context of the project, that's something that we're looking at, is trying to think about what are the different technologies throughout the whole supply chain that deal with food waste.
Now, this week we've had a real breakthrough in terms of identifying a potential solution.
From the point of conception to the point of getting it moving from the farmer onwards to the consumer.
So I think when we think about what is the product and what do we do with it, you start thinking about who is the customer. And the customer probably is the farmer, because it's like you said at the very onset, they're the ones that are going to get a return on investment. And so I think that's where you have to start.
Let's continue the momentum and really dig into what this dashboard concept could look like and how it could function.
This is the biggest challenge that we have ahead.
We can make this process a lot smarter, and it can have seismic impacts.
I'm excited to see how this unfolds.